Hey guys, Dean here. Today we're going to be going through a few different ways on how you can make $100 a day with multiple or different passive income streams. So these are going to be a few different methods to make money, which you can use as a side hustle or some kind of externalized income stream that you can add on to your main source of income. So for an example, if you already run a business or already have some kind of job, you can use this to supplement that on the side, or you can just start it off individually as a way to grow some kind of daily income source. Now we're aiming for $100 a day, but that's also quite far-fetched because it's going to take a long time to build this up, and the more of these that you employ, the more of a higher chance you'll have of achieving that goal eventually. So the first one we're going to go over is investing for dividends, right? So dividends is the return that you get from some kind of investment. So investing in some kind of index fund or an ETF for the return of the dividends is a really good investment. Now right now the stock market has taken a little bit of a crash. It has been crushed, but over the long term, in my personal opinion, I think it's very good to buy it right now while it's low and keep investing or hold your investments. And it's still a good strategy for the long term because we have some data to say that it always seems to recover. Now that's not financial advice. You do need to do your own research before making your own choices, but that's personally what I believe. So investing in an index fund, for an example, diversifies your investment over multiple things that you're investing in, right? So if I invested in the S&P 500, I'd be investing in the top 500 companies. So I'd be investing, let's say, $100. Instead of putting that into one company's stocks and shares, it'd be split between the 500 companies which that fund is tracking or what it's based off on, right? Index funds and ETFs offer dividends that allow you to make money on your investment, okay? And you can use these to reinvest, or you can use them as a profit and keep the profit from the dividend, okay? So it's kind of like a reward from that fund or from the individual stock of the company as a reward for the investors that they issue out. Maybe every quarter of the year or every certain segment of the year, you'll get issued those dividends, which is nice to obviously receive in your account. This is a way of making your money work for you, right? So you're benefiting off compounding. You're putting money in and then it's going to keep stacking up. And the more you invest over time, the more that it's going to stack up and add on to, right? And obviously, like we say in all the other videos, you're hedging against inflation because your money is depreciating day by day. And having it in some kind of index fund or stocks, you're going to get an annual rate of return on that. So it prevents your money losing value, allows your money to basically add value on top of it. This is an extremely passive way of getting return on your money, right? And it's much better than any kind of savings account. Now, if you do want to learn about index funds and ETFs, I have a full video on a beginner's guide on how you can get set up and get started investing, and I'll link that down in the description below so you can check that one out. So next we're going to talk about rental property income, right? So this is one which I haven't got into yet and one which I'm not speaking of from experience per se, but I'm going to go over the kind of general rule of thumb for this. So rental properties and the whole real estate market is really good for getting passive income, and this specific strategy is going to allow you to basically live rent-free or even pay off your mortgage, for an example. So first of all, we're going to go over Airbnb, right? So you have enough money, you've rented your first apartment or you've bought your first property, and you can set it up on Airbnb and rent it out to different guests. Now first, you're probably going to want to charge the amount per night is quite low because then you can build up some good guest reviews. When you have higher reviews, you obviously have more power to actually sell it at a higher price. So per night you could charge up to $100, for an example, and make a really nice healthy profit. Obviously $100, that's going to be around $3,000 a month, which is a lot of money. If you rent out a property, for an example, if you buy a duplex, which is basically a building which is split into two, you could live in half of that property that you have a mortgage on. You may not have even paid it off yet, and then you can rent off the other half or the other segment to a guest on Airbnb or some kind of other service, and they're going to be paying you, let's say, $3,000 a month, and you're going to be putting that towards the mortgage or as profit. So you're basically paying off the mortgage and living rent free, which is a really good strategy for real estate. Then after that, everything is pure profit. So that's a really good way to get into the market. Now the next one is REITs, okay? So this is real estate again. This is real estate investment trust here. So this is a company that owns, operates, finances, income generating general real estate, right? So this is similar in a way to mutual funds, which is kind of like in the whole stock market, like what we covered first. And this is where individual investors like me or you or whoever puts the money in pulls their capital to acquire some kind of dividends just like you do from stocks, but from real estate investments. And this is without the need to buy, manage, finance any of these properties personally at all. So this is really lucrative if you want less effort to get into this market. Now, this is a good way to get into real estate in a more passive way. It's kind of like angel investing, where you invest and you just let it do it for you, right? So it's kind of like that. So it's publicly traded exactly like stocks are, and it's highly liquid, unlike the physical form of investing into it. So that makes it really good. And obviously investments like this are available for most types of buildings. So apartments, cell towers, data centers, hotels, medical facilities, offices, retail centers, and things like warehouses. So there's a lot of diversity in what you can actually get into with this one. So the next one is affiliate marketing. Okay, so this is where you advertise a company's product and then you acquire some kind of compensation in return for your generated traffic or the attention which you brought to that specific product or company, right? So you as a third party, you produce some kind of promotion, it could be a video for an example, on a company or the product, and then you get a commission from the sale of that product, okay? So an example of this would be Amazon affiliate. So let's cover that first. This is the most popular and lucrative one. So you could write some kind of blog post or create some kind of video, and then what you do is you put the link in the description for this product, and let's say it's a video review. You're saying what's good about the product, what's bad about it, but you're mainly trying to say that it's good because you want people to buy it. And then you put the link in the description below, and everyone who clicks that and purchases that using your custom tracking link, you get some kind of segment of the profits from that sale, some kind of percentage, right? And the more views and the more sales you make every single month, the more profit you're going to passively generate from this method. Now, obviously Amazon affiliates isn't the only example, it's just the most popular and probably the most profitable. But there are also ones like ClickBank, Skillshare, you can click my link for Skillshare, Impact, eBay, and Fiverr. So there's quite a few other ones as well. So then we have print on demand. Okay, so print on demand, we're mainly talking about merchandise here and clothing and anything which we can print, like garments which people are going to want to buy. So creating and selling some kind of merchandise product, be it YouTuber merch, or creating some kind of new brand through a store is how we do this. So this could be as YouTuber merch through Teespring or Spreadshirt, for an example, where the service actually produces your designs which you upload and then ships them and fulfills them to the customer, and then you get a cut of the profits of that sale. Now, obviously the revenue margins are going to be much lower for this because they're doing everything for you and all the handling, but it's a lot less effort to maintain. This is very similar to how you can dropship products from AliExpress, for an example. You could also obviously get your own personal manufacturer to produce them and then also give you stock to hold in a warehouse, but then you have to do all the fulfilling for yourself, so it kind of goes away from the whole passive income scheme. Now, a popular way in terms of just general business of doing merch is you could use merch by Amazon, which is very similar to Amazon FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon. That basically gives you access to Amazon's warehouses, so you send all your products, they store all of that stock in their warehouse, and then they fulfill all the orders with their really fast Amazon delivery. So your customers get the bonus of getting that really fast delivery, and you don't need a place to store all the stock and all the t-shirts you produce, for an example. Then we also have online courses. Okay, so this is producing some kind of digital product online, which is teaching some kind of valuable or lucrative skill to anyone who wants to become a student or learn about it. You create a course to teach people a skill which can be profitable, especially if it's high in demand or some kind of unique skill. This will work a lot better. Basically, paired with a social following as well, this can be a recipe for a huge amount of profit if you actually have this social influence to actually sell. Basically, if you're a great artist, for example, you might want to create a video course, how to draw, how to do portraiture or landscape paintings, and then people who want to learn that skill might actually want to pay for your course to actually learn from a professional. Okay, so like I said before, if you have a social following based on that niche or some kind of social proof thing where people can trust you, they're more likely to obviously see you as someone who can advise them on that and buy the product. Obviously, you can sell a video course on your own website, or you can sell it on courses like Skillshare and also Udemy, which is another course website as well. So these can both be very profitable, but they have different payment plans and ways that you make money off them, so read into those as well. So digital products is next, and obviously I'm going to use the example which I usually use for this, which is obviously ebooks, right? So digital products, they usually require a very large amount of effort at first when you're actually producing them, but they're mostly passive income and lower maintenance once you've created the physical product, right? So after it's been completed, using an ebook as an example here, which is a digital book, you basically could create an ebook. Let's say you create on a popular topic or niche like weight loss, for an example, show people a diet or some kind of workout plan, and then you take maybe a few weeks or months to actually create that physical book, write it, get all the graphics for it, make sure it's really good quality. But then once it's completed, all you have to do from then is just market it, right? So make videos maybe about that niche and then ask people to buy your ebook or just advertise it. And the maintenance is just literally from the ads after that and just continuing to mention it so you keep the sales going, right? So this is also a passive way because people are going to go back onto your videos or on your website through different articles and keep buying the product. So it's going to be passive income from there with low maintenance. Maybe you might need to update it if it's based on a certain trend or a certain year, for an example, and it needs updates. But apart from that, there's not going to be much maintenance with digital products. So then we also have creating a YouTube channel, right, and running one. So starting a YouTube channel is not fully passive at all. I don't want people to get the idea that this is entirely passive. You set it and forget it, because it definitely isn't, okay? But one of the best semi-passive income sources in my opinion. So creating helpful videos with some kind of true value to the consumer can help you get a lot of views, which translates into good money each month, but it's going to take a long time to build it up. Now, my personal experience, around 2 years to actually start seeing any kind of good progress, which is sustainable. But if you can do this, this can be really lucrative. So basically aim to create some kind of evergreen content, right? So evergreen content is content that's not based upon short-term niches or trends that won't go out of fashion. So anything which is useful, maybe educational content, which is really good for this topic, that will basically always be relevant. And this allows you to keep your income on YouTube sustainable because your videos are always searchable. That's the key thing here. So using Google Ads, basically viewers who watch your videos and see these ads will click on the ads, for example, and you'll get paid for it. And YouTube will then split this with a margin of 55% to you, the creator of the video, and they keep 45% for their servers and running the whole ad scheme. So you still get a pretty nice cut for it. So that's a really good one. And a YouTube channel could be made on any niche, basically something which you're really good at or have a very high interest in, you won't get bored of, which is what I recommend. But obviously the effort to build this up does take an extremely long time, so this isn't a very quick scheme. Next, we're going to be talking about crypto, right? So if you already have a lot of crypto, this might be easy for you because you might need to build up a portfolio for this to be even possible, okay? Now, one thing to note, just like at the start of the video, crypto has completely crashed right now, so it's up to you to do your own research. This isn't financial advice. You need to do your own due diligence before you purchase crypto. Crypto has seen a crash, but in my personal experience and opinion, I do believe it will recover in the long term, but we don't have as much data as we do on the stock market to yet determine that. So basically, crypto has crashed, so have discretion. Some services, for an example with crypto, like the website BlockFi, allows you to hold your crypto on their ecosystem, and how this functions is they're basically lending crypto out as a loan, just like they do with money for banks. And for you putting your crypto on their platform so they can lend and get an interest back from it, they basically pay you a percentage annually for holding it. So just like holding stocks in an index fund, which gives you a rate of return each year, this is the same thing. So it's a very similar thing to stock dividends. Okay, so this is useful to acquire a profit from holding crypto. Some of these services, they give you crypto dividends each month, and some of them are completely done annually in terms of their payments, but some of them can go up to like 10-13%. It's pretty crazy how some of these crypto dividends and rates of return are. Like I said, right now crypto's crashed, so this is going to be very low in comparison to what it was. But I do have a friend who was basically living off these crypto dividends because he had a lot of crypto to hold on one of these services, so he got a good rate of return from it. So you can sustain a pretty good life if you do this. Right now during the crypto crash, not as good news, but later on I believe things will get back to how they are, so it's a very good thing that's interesting to learn about. So that's my video on passive income streams you can use this year to attempt to try and make $100 a day. The more of these you use, the more chance you'll get up to that figure. And obviously you don't want to do too many at once because, like I said, there's a great saying, if you do too many things at once, you're never going to achieve any of them. So maybe try 1 or 2 of these and build them up over time, whatever fits you the best and what you have the most interest in, and eventually you can earn yourself a pretty good online income daily, or earn a pretty good rate of return from your pre-existing investments. So if you want any more videos on travel, personal finance and money, do make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the like button. And if you have any questions about anything featured in this video, leave them down in the comments below and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks for watching.